it's the holiday season, and winter is very quickly approaching. So when traveling with kids, there are some key issues that parents really should be aware of to help make their trip a little bit more enjoyable. So I'm here with somebody who knows a lot more about this than I do. This is Dr. Ryan Loss to talk to me a little bit about ways to make it so that you can handle going places with your kids.
Yes.
And as a parent, oh my God, it's so hard. You want to like literally pull your hair out of your head because, you know, kids, they're so antsy all the time, you know?
They are. Traveling in the car for long periods of time can be very trying. My little guy always asks, are we taking the highway somewhere? How long is it going to be? Are we almost there?
Oh, so your son's not the only one.
Oh, it's pretty typical. You know, and every family does it different. Some will go the electronic route. And with that, always keep some good balance with it. Others will give them books, depending on how old they are. Others will have their phones and their devices. And then there's coloring for the younger ones as well. You got to find what works for your kiddos to try and keep the peace.
So, you know, what are sort of these prep steps? I mean, I think that that's probably first things first, is preparing before you even, you know, get out to do this trip.
Part of it is getting gear together. You know, are you doing movies that are downloaded to the iPad? Are you getting coloring books together? Are you, putting other books that the kid is going to read? So you get that. That's a good bit of preparation. You have a good conversation with your kiddos about where you're going, how long it's going to take, when you're leaving, so they have a sense of what's going on. That's part of the packing process too, getting all of their comfort items together. A lot more important for the younger ones, but the older ones can be a challenge too. They're going to likely turn to their devices. That's unfortunately just kind of the way things are right now, but they may find a book in it as well.
One of the things you said is comfort, and I think that was something I was reading about, which is that you want to still, even though you're away, make it seem like an environment for the kids that still sort of has somewhat of a routine, right?
You got to keep that routine. Kids, adolescents, they're all sensitive to schedule, so trying to keep consistent normal sleep times, wake times, meal times.
Which is difficult to do.
It is. You know, when we were just new parents, we tried to plan flights around times that our son would sleep, so he could sleep on the plane. It's not easy. It's a challenge, but you try and plan things around that so that there's a consistency to their schedule and your schedule as well, because you have to deal with what comes your way.
So the meals and the sleep obviously are some of the most important things too. Now, you know, whether it's a road trip or whether it's a flight, something like that, what is the sort of the best, and this is like an off-the-cuff question, what is sort of the best way to handle a kid who keeps doing that, are we there yet type thing?
That's a, what we say is, we're closer than we were before. And trying to keep them occupied, trying to engage them and redirect the conversation. So what are you drawing right now? That sometimes can redirect them from what their mind is focused on. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You try and have fun with it, play some music, try and keep them occupied off that topic, because they will continue to do that, which in some cases, unfortunately, is put them on the iPad. But I mean, I guess that's one of those scenarios where that is an acceptable thing for a person to do. Yeah, keep in balance. I think the iPad's not a horrible thing. It's just balance with it all. Let them color for a little bit. If they've colored for a little bit, give them a little reward time with some iPad time. You have to manage it for everybody. You don't want angry drivers. You don't want a screaming child on a plane. It's not comfortable for you. The people around you will give you the dirty looks, which sometimes you have to deal with, but it is what it is. So you figure out what works best for you.
Cool. Ryan, thank you so much.
You bet.
Ryan Loss,
thank you.
Good stuff. All right, we'll be back in just a second with more news and a final check of the weather. We'll see you soon.